Good afternoon, INA TV viewers. Your TV for community news and events. Today, we have the honor and privilege to interview Ms. Tulsi Gabbard. We have an exclusive interview with her, which you'll be watching in a few minutes. Before we talk to her, I would like to thank her for taking the time and accepting our invite. So, Ms. Tulsi Gabbard, please tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, your family.
Well, I've grown up almost my whole life in Hawaii, a very beautiful and special place. I have 3 older brothers and a younger sister, and was first elected to the Hawaii State Legislature when I was 21 years old. I left that office when I volunteered to deploy with close to 3,000 of my brothers and sisters in uniform to the Middle East, and eventually came home after 2 deployments, served on the Honolulu City Council as well as now serving in the United States Congress.
What is it that interested you in the services, into public services specifically? First you were in the Senate, then the City Council, and now the Congress. What is it that motivated you? At the age of 21, when other 21-year-olds would be applying to colleges, thinking about something else, what is it that motivated you to the services?
Service. I started a nonprofit. I co-founded a nonprofit as a teenager focused on environmental issues and how we can make sure we protect our environment, protect our home and the precious natural resources that exist there. And I wanted to see how I could be in a position to make a greater impact, to be of service in a way that could help more people. And that's what motivated me to, I took a break from college and ran for the Hawaii State House of Representatives when I was 21 and got elected there.
Would you kind of give us an overview of your short-term and long-term goals? What is it that you're expecting to do in say, an year and in the next 5 years?
The political climate in Washington, unfortunately, is fraught with gridlock, and there is not a lot of progress being done there on a variety of issues. So, my goal is to continue to represent Hawaii, to continue to take on the many difficult challenges that our country is facing, both at home and abroad, through my service on the Armed Services Committee as well as the Foreign Affairs Committee. With what is happening in the Middle East, with the threat of ISIS, and in many other areas, it's important that we have veterans and people who understand firsthand the cost of war, the tremendous cost of war, speaking out strongly to make sure that we do not once again send our troops, my brothers and sisters in uniforms, into harm's way unnecessarily.
So is the U.S. or in the future, is that something you've thought about?
Political ambitions. Just like in the beginning, I am now focused on seeing how I can best be of service, and I will continue to find ways that I can do that so that I can have a bigger impact, so that I can be in a position to address these challenges that face my district in Hawaii and our country.
Thank you so much. We also have another very big Dallas personality with us, Mr. Kusama. And I'd like to ask the two of you, I'd like to ask you first, Ms. Gabbard, is how your partnership with him has been. He still told me a little bit about it, but I'd like to hear from the two of you.
Yes, Prasad has been one of the early supporters of mine from my very first run for Congress. And he and his family have become friends over the last few years, and he's someone who I appreciate and appreciate the leadership that he has provided, especially here in the Dallas community.
Mr. Prasad, please, a few words.
We're very, very fortunate to have people like Tulsi Gabbard, when Tulsi was running for US Congress for the first time, just I called her up. I didn't know her. Nobody knew who Tulsi was. When I read in some newspapers that Tulsi Gabbard was running for US Congress, I was a little intrigued. What Tulsi, what Gabbard? So then I called her up and I said, yes, I'm practicing Hindu since birth, and I'm running for US Congress. I'm from Hawaii. Then I said, why can't I take some lead and help her out? Because people of Tulsi Gabbard, I saw her very focused in politics. Doesn't matter what party it is, people like her make a difference in the community. Then I called her up and I said, I would like to have a fundraiser here. We would like to support you. Can you make it? Ironically, there was only 3 or 4 days left for our first election. Actually, I called her at the late moment. She said, no problem, she's going to come, and she came. And we were totally surprised because there was only less than 1 week gap for the major election. She was here with the community, and with her charm and with her eloquency, with her clarity of thought, clarity of mind, people loved her. I was fortunate enough to introduce her to the Dallas community for the first time, and lot of support, outpouring support. And we would remember we gave her a Bhagavad Gita signing. All our guests attended. And, she was the one who created history by becoming the first Hindu Congress member in US. Never happened before. And not only that, probably you might have been seeing a lot of people of Indian origin, they're changing their religion for the political benefits. They surprises everybody that she was born Hindu and she has been practicing Hinduism, and she was there enough to run as a Hindu. She never kept her identity in the dark. She was open, and her life was open to her. She got elected at the age of 21. She was for the US, for Hawaii State Congress, and she was the youngest ever elected for the state legislature in the country. She created history there, but she did not stop there. She went to, she felt that it's her moral responsibility and civic responsibility to jump into service, and she served in the army. She is a decorated veteran, and now she is in second term of US Congress. And we see a bright future for Tulsi, and we would love to have her in the presidential race, maybe now or later, and definitely she is a presidential candidate material. And we would love to support her, people like her. Even though she is a Hindu, she is not representing only Hindus, she is representing all Indian Americans, all minorities, all people with all challenges and any problems. And she is the one who we regard her much. She is very accessible. At the same time, she was touring all over the country for the last 4 years, and she had a great opportunity to meet with our Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, 2 times, and she also went to India, and she got a warm rock star welcome in India. And we would love to have her in higher and higher positions. As a community, definitely we are going to help her as much as possible, and would love to see her in the higher positions in the very near future.
It's really wonderful. It was up close and personal about Tulsi Gabbard. So thank you so much for the two of you, Aina TV viewers. One last question I have before I wrap up this interview is, what message do you have for our viewers, Ms. Gabbard?
That each of us in our own way and in our own life can find ways to be of service to others, to think not of ourselves but how we can take action to have a positive impact on those around us.
Thank you so much for taking the time, and have a good evening.
Thank you. Thanks for the time.